Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, for the third time, this is the official post-fight review for Adrien Broner versus Jessie Vargas. It ends in a draw, and it was a really good fight, man. It really was. You know, it was a tale of two fights. It had a lot of storylines. You know, there was a lot of obvious build-up and excitement for the fight due to all the antics from Adrien Broner out the ring. The press conferences, the sound bites, all that good stuff. And we were live on YouTube. We did a live fight reaction. Just me, my main man Alex, Paul, my boy Paul, and we had roughly 23,000 people there. So if you weren't there, man, you really did miss out. We had a blast. But as for the fight itself, let's start from the beginning, man. Off rip, Jessie Vargas. I thought early on showed fantastic commitment to his jab. He showed, along with that jab, just varying his attack, throwing all kinds of different punches from hooks to uppercuts to straight rights. I was thoroughly impressed. It looked like whatever Mike McCallum was showing him, he's been listening, because he was ripping and chipping to that body just over and over again with Adrien Broner. And then you had Adrien Broner early on in those first couple rounds. He was trying to get the timing down on Vargas, so he had like his hands kind of up like this, kind of in a shell, and then he would kind of like try to catch and shoot, but he had a hard time shooting. The catch part he could do, it was a shooting that was the hard part. So he ate a lot of shots early on trying to do that, but in doing so, as the fight wore on, going into those middle rounds, Vargas slowly but surely began to fade a little bit. As I was, when we were on our live fight reaction, I was saying to Alex, I was like, I was saying to myself, like, I don't think Vargas is going to be able to maintain this for 12 rounds. At some point in time, he's going to come back to reality. He's going to regress back to, as far as, the fact that he don't fight that type of pace, and he'll fade a little bit. And that's exactly what he did. And as he was doing that, Broner was getting warmed up. Broner was beginning to find his range with the right hand. Broner was, landing all kinds of combinations. Broner was hurting him. Broner was putting them hands all up and down Jessie Vargas. So it was a good performance from Broner. But my thing is, I think it took him too long to get started, and because it took him too long to get started, I just think he gave away too many rounds, and Jessie Vargas at least won a round or two in the second half of the fight, probably more than that. So with that being said, man, I was impressed with Broner. The fact that, for one, two things that impressed me about Broner. One was the fact that he was conditioned well for all 12 rounds. He went the distance, and he looked like the fresher fighter, honestly, at the end of the fight. That's number one. Number two, I was impressed that he didn't resort to excessive holding, and that's always been my main guy with Broner. Is that I think he clinches too damn much, and like he did in the Granados fight. So it was a good performance for him. Like, if you thought Broner won, like, I ain't mad at you, but when I score the fight live, and I'm gonna go back and rescore it later, probably tomorrow at some point. Whenever the fight comes on YouTube, I'll go watch it and rescore it. But scoring it live, I thought I gave Jessie Vargas 8 rounds. I mean, maybe you could find a round more for Broner, so 7-5. But really, I had an 8-4. I just think while Broner was doing good work, the consistent work, and the more consistent work of the fight was being done by that of Jessie Vargas. So. What's next for these guys? I don't know, man. Like, they both went at it in the post-fight interview. Adrien Broner really felt adamant that he won this fight. He felt adamant that he beat his ass. He felt adamant that he deserved to have that W, that green W, go in his box rec account. But that's not happening. The W is not going in his box rec. And it is what it is. I'm not mad. I'm not really mad at the decision, because, like I said, it wasn't like Vargas was all that in the bag of chips in the second half of the fight. And there really wasn't a round that I can think of in my head in the second half of the fight where he really, like, dominated. He might have nicked a couple rounds, but not like he wasn't dominating any of those rounds like he was in the first half. But I definitely think he won the fight. And as far as a rematch, I love this rematch, man. Both these guys it's interesting because both these guys are kind of in a stage of their career where they're both being trained by new trainers. This I believe was Jessie Vargas's second fight with Mike McCallum, and this Adrien Broner's first fight with Kevin Cunningham. So I'm gonna be very interested to see. I'm gonna be very interested to see the development of these two guys, how they continue to build their habits in the ring, what they implement moving forward, and that's what it is, man. I mean, I usually learning new things and just getting new habits in the ring. That generally takes time on a new trainer because Vargas was trained by Dewey Cooper for a long time, and obviously Broner was trained by Mike Stabber for a long time, and they have habits that they built up with both those guys. So with that being said, it's something that they're gonna have to work through. And as for a rematch, I love to see a rematch. Why not? Why not? The first fight was good. Broner showed that he still has a little bit of something left in the tank. I don't know how much left exactly, but he has enough to at least compete with the likes of Jessie Vargas, and that's good. It shows that he can still compete with at least top 10 caliber welterweights, and I think for Adrien Broner, that's a positive first step. You could definitely build off that. And if you're Broner, you think you won the fight, so to each his own, man. But I ain't mad if you thought you won this fight. It was very fun, live fight reaction. And yeah, as for the other fights on the card, just to give you guys, just talk about those for a little bit. You had Gervonta Davis fought Jesus Cuellar in a fight where they brought Jesus Cuellar up in weight, but Davis was on record before the fight saying that he thought Cuellar was going to be his toughest opponent to date, and Cuellar was his toughest opponent to date in his eyes, and he handled him, man. He handled him. He was switched on from the word go. He showed great patience and poise, taking half steps back and looking for left-hand counters. He showed really good commitment to the body, and he wound up, the result of that patience, of that commitment, was a third-round TKO. And now they're talking about Lomachenko fight. He says he wants the winner of Tevin Farmer versus Billy Dibb, so he really wants Farmer because that's a big grudge match. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I definitely think that at this stage of his career, or the way he's developing, if he switched on like this, he's definitely going to be the Tevin Farmer because it's just Tevin Farmer, in my opinion, and this is just solely in my opinion. Tevin Farmer showed his level in the Ogawa fight, and it really wasn't of high quality. I just don't think Tevin Farmer has a punching power at that level to keep a guy like Tank and make him respect him. So I think Tank would ultimately stop Tevin Farmer whenever they fight. But that'd be a good matchup. Hopefully it happens. And then in terms of Jamal Charlo fought Hugo Centeno and what was his first step up fight at middleweight. Centeno was obviously coming off a good win against Emmanuel Alim, who, for those of us who follow boxing deeply, we remember him having a great fight with Kaitrov last January. Was one of the best fights last year. And so really Centeno was not a scrub. He wasn't a scrub, but he wasn't a guy that people were picking to win either. But he was still a step from Jorge Sebastian Haaland. And honestly, there really wasn't many rounds to talk about. But Charlo showed patience. He showed the ability to just throw that jab, land the jab, measure the jab, and ultimately, when he finally wound up landing the first significant right hand of the fight, Centeno felt the power. Centeno didn't have composure to handle that power and recover, and he ultimately ended up getting stopped. And Charlo made a statement at middleweight and wants to fight Triple G. Called Triple G out in his post-fight interview. So he's looking forward to big things in the middleweight division, and a lot of fight fans, particularly here in America, are very high on that on Jamal Charlo. And honestly, as time was went on, I've been getting more high on Jamal Charlo. I'm higher on him than I am his brother at 154. I think he has the goods. His brother is good, but I think I think Jamal is another level. That's the way I see them too. But overall, that's my take of the fights. This nice fight card we had tonight. And we was one of the most popular live fight reactions we ever had. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Hopefully, you guys will join me. Gonna have some good stuff on the channel this week. We're gonna be talking about the Wild. We're gonna talk a lot Wild this week. We got an Adrien Granados video to make, and who knows, man? We might even have some surprises or two along the way. So we'll see what happens on True School Sports. Thank you guys for watching, and it's 11:41 here on the East Coast, but it feels like South Florida, but it feels like it's so much later than that. So I'm gonna go get some sleep, and hopefully you guys get some as well. I hope you guys enjoy the night of fights. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say, every gosh, you love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from dating. So until next time, take care, guys.